2022 Honda Accord vs Honda Civic, key differences and review. In today's video we are going to talk about the differences between Honda Accord and Honda Civic and their details. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Ever wonder why you see so many Civics and Accords around? Part of it is because they're really dang good. For 2022 the Accord is in its best form ever. But for the same model year, the redesigned 11th generation Civic hits the scene and we're impressed. You can't go wrong choosing either, but the excellence of both models makes things tricky. How to decide? Consider these differences between the Civic and Accord. Exterior specs. You don't need a measuring tape to know that the Civic is smaller than the Accord. That much is clear just by looking. Passenger space. Considering their differences in exterior size, passenger space measurements between the Civic and Accord are surprisingly close. Rear legroom is the only area where there's more than an inch of difference. That doesn't tell the whole story, though. Total passenger volume is 99.0 cubic feet in the Civic and 105.6 in the Accord, part of the reason why the larger car feels, well, larger inside. Cargo capacity. Among midsize sedans, the Accord boasts the largest trunk, with a 16.7 cubic foot cargo hold. All Accord trims above the base LX have a fold-down second-row seat to help larger items fit inside. The Civic sedan's trunk is fairly capacious, providing 14.8 cubic feet or 14.4 cubic feet on the touring trim. All Civic trims have folding second-row seats. The Civic actually has more versatility than the Accord, though, that is, if you get the Civic hatchback. That model has a rated cargo capacity of 24.5 cubic feet behind its second row, and much more when those seats are folded down. Fuel economy. Smaller car, better fuel economy, right? That's not necessarily the case here. The Civic and Accord share an available turbocharged 1.5-liter engine, albeit tuned differently. Otherwise, each has its own lineup of engine choices, with the Accord offering a hybrid powertrain and the Civic's equivalent being the Insight Hybrid, which replaced the Civic Hybrid model. For the 2022 model year, the Accord Hybrid gets a sport model, but the lineup's fuel economy should otherwise be the same. Technology. The Civic has tech features you can't get in an Accord, and vice versa. For example, every Civic is equipped with a 7.0-inch infotainment touchscreen other than the range-topping touring trim, which has a 9.0-inch display. All Accords have an 8.0-inch touchscreen. Accord Touring and Hybrid are equipped with a head-up display, which the Civic doesn't offer. The Civic Touring has a 10.3-inch all-digital gauge display, which can't be had on an Accord. A branded sound system is available on the Civic for the first time. The touring trim is equipped with a 12-speaker setup from Bose. Both cars share features like Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, USB charge ports, and Bluetooth connectivity. Styling. Compared to its aggressively angular predecessor, the 2022 Civic's styling is more mature and subdued and bears a striking resemblance to the Accord. We think that's a good thing. The Accord's handsome bodywork is a successful starting point for the Civic's reworked duds. Inside, however, the Civic raises the bar. Although material quality in both cars is simply appropriate for the price point, how those materials are arranged in the Civic is excellent. The mesh air vents, textured dials, and patterned trim panels look great. Various knobs and touch points are arranged for better ease of use. The Accord's cabin has a similar layout, but the Civic's interior ambience is more suave and modern. Price. Predictably, the Civic is less expensive than the Accord, and not by a trivial amount. LX is the entry-level trim for both, which costs about $23,000 for the Civic and $26,000 for the Accord. The basic Accord Hybrid starts at just over $27,500. Both top out in touring trim, going for over $29,000 on the Civic and nearly $38,000 for the Accord. Touring trim for the Accord Hybrid is slightly less expensive, at about $37,500. Given the price delta across each car's range, you could have a high-end Civic for the same amount as a mid-range Accord. Or, you could have a mid-range Civic for less than the Accord's starting price. The verdict. The Accord has proven itself to be a hard vehicle to beat, finishing first in comparison tests and earning top-rank status among midsize sedans. This new 2022 Civic is an upstart, though. As a compact, it may simply be too small for some drivers' needs. But it's a compelling little vehicle, probably the best Civic yet, that's saying something after the 10 generations before it. For the features and fun it offers at a lower price point, the Civic might make downsizing worth it. Now, if talking about the 2022 Honda Civic pros, it includes brilliant handling, stylish interior, lower price and spacious hatchback variant. And 2022 Honda Accord pros have more powerful, excellent to drive, bigger back seat and larger trunk. So, this was all the key differences. Now talking about the 2022 Honda Accord details. The Honda Accord has long been a front-runner for people searching for a well-rounded midsize sedan. This current generation debuted for 2018, and the 2022 Accord carries on with impressive refinement, comfort and fuel efficiency. Available with 2 turbocharged engines as well as a hybrid model, plus loads of tech and advanced driver aids, the Accord offers excellent value for your money. So, yes, the Accord is one of our favorite sedans. But it's no longer at the very top of our rankings. The Kia K5 and its corporate sibling the Hyundai Sonata both offer an abundance of features and long warranties. There's also the Kia Stinger to consider. It's got style and performance in spades, or even Honda's redesigned 2022 Civic. But on the whole, the Accord continues to be a smart pick. How's the interior? The interior of the Accord offers modern design, quality soft-touch materials, lots of room, and a user-friendly infotainment system and control layout. Basic functions are easy to navigate thanks to physical buttons, but the controls on the wheel aren't intuitively laid out and take getting used to. The cabin is airy and open, but taller drivers will want to test the seating position since their knees might rub on a piece of hard plastic trim. The door sills are high and wide, meaning other sedans are a little easier to get in and out of. Rear legroom is excellent, though taller passengers will run out of headroom and will have to duck while exiting the back seat. How's the tech? The available navigation system's graphics look crisp, and instructions are easy to follow. Honda also did a nice job integrating the infotainment system with the gauge cluster screen and optional head-up display. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay smartphone integration works well, and the near-field Bluetooth pairing is a neat trick. However, the standard pairing method is easy enough that it's mostly a novelty. The premium audio system produces a lot of volume without distortion, but sound quality is unexceptional for an upgraded system. Many active safety and driver aids come standard on the Accord, but blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert aren't standard on lower trims. The adaptive cruise control system mostly works well, but it sometimes picks up neighboring lanes and curves. Forward collision alert doesn't deliver false warnings but is very sensitive. You feel good getting in the Accord. It reminds you that you choose wisely as you settle into the low seat. You can sit low and back, ensconced in the vehicle, and it imparts a sensation of being in a much more expensive car. If the steering was sharper, this Honda could even be a sports sedan. As it is, the Accord is a sporty and competent sedan that's actually a lot of fun to whip through corners thanks to its stability. So, this was all about the 2022 Honda Accord. Now coming to Honda Civic. The Honda Civic has a reputation built on 50 years of affordability, efficiency, and durability, and the 2022 redesign looks to keep that tradition going strong. This 11th generation Civic gets a thorough makeover inside and out. Some may say the new Civic's more conventional design is boring compared to the previous model's flamboyance, but we contend it's cleaner and more refined. There's little new under the hood, where you'll still find a base 4-cylinder engine or a turbocharged 4-cylinder that provides quicker acceleration. As for technology features, Honda is often slower than other automakers to incorporate exotic features into its more budget-friendly cars. However, this Civic does have a few new additions. On the top-level Touring and C trims, for instance, there's a wireless charging pad, a digital instrument panel, and a 9-inch touchscreen with additional wireless functionality for CarPlay and Android Auto smartphone integration. How's the interior? The cabin has an attractive design. All controls are within easy reach and intuitive to use. It's also roomy. The front can comfortably seat taller and shorter passengers equally well, and the rear seats will accommodate average-size adults with no problem. Rear legroom is abundant and headroom is adequate. Outward visibility is aided by narrow front roof pillars and side view mirrors that are mounted on the doors, freeing up your view out front. The back window is a bit short, but the multi-angle rear view camera helps you spot anything that might be behind you when backing out of a parking spot. This little Honda packs a surprising amount of performance. This is especially true of the sporty handling that lets more spirited drivers actually have some fun. Usually, these abilities are reserved for the more performance-focused models like the Civic-Key and Type R. This Civic replaces its predecessor's busy design with a simpler and more elegant style. It eliminates a lot of the clutter and fake vents for a more mature interpretation, yet still leaves room for more exciting treatments. So this was all about the 2022 Honda Civic. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for more amazing videos like this.